Good afternoon, everyone. Teron Drives here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a special video where we were checking out the BMW M440i X-Drive, which is powered by a 3-liter twin-turbo inline 6-cylinder, which also features a 48-volt motor, which makes this car technically a hybrid. It produces 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, which launches you 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. Now, it only comes in an 8-speed automatic transmission, but of course with the paddle shifters you could also have some fun with that as well. Today I was invited to a BMW autocross event in City Field where you get to test the cars on the track that is provided. So let's take some footage of that.
So watch other drivers, watch what they do right, watch what they do wrong, learn from them. But then other times you're like, oh God, I hope nobody saw me do that. It's a feeling. So watch other drivers. So are you comfortable in your position?
I am pretty.
You always want a little bend with your arms. Looks like you're pretty good.
Yeah.
So go ahead and grab that shifter. Use your thumb to push the side button for me.
Yeah.
Then pull down and release. Now pop it to the left. Always make sure you're in S1 before you take off.
Of course.
All right?
How are you doing today,
I'm
sir?
Chris.
Teron like Toronto.
Teron.
Nice to meet you. Of course.
So Teron, we got our first couple laps in.
Yes, sir.
You know the track.
A little, yeah. No, feel a lot better with it now.
It just takes time, and a lot of people get overexcited the first go.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I want to go fast. Oh, I missed the orange cone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now you can kind of back it down and be like, okay, I know there's a right turn coming up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a problem.
Now, the initial feel of the vehicle is really stable and planted. As you're going around the corners, you don't feel any body roll necessarily. You put the car where you want it to go, and it really does go there. The car does create confidence. The more you drive it, the more confident you feel. You feel like you could really tackle on anything with this car, thanks to the all-wheel drive system, which I will say does work really well in helping you lock onto the corners, grip them really well, and kind of boost yourself out. Now, in terms of the power of the car, I was driving the car mainly in the paddle shifter manual mode so that I could just shift to the gears and use the power as much as I wanted to, which it did deliver power, but sometimes, let's say you shift down, you would have a delay. And that would be like one of the negatives of this car in terms of this transmission, would just be like a slight little delay when you downshift. But you're not, racing the car that much that you would need like the super fast transmission. It's very capable, and I don't think any regular driver will have any complaints with it. This car drove really, really well, and again, it creates a lot more confidence in a regular driver to the point where I feel like anyone could drive it. And that's the thing, you see these on the roads pretty often, and you'd be surprised about who's driving it. It could be an older lady, it could be a younger guy, it doesn't matter. Anyone could drive this car, and that's the beauty of the engineering behind this vehicle. Thank you, sir. Oh, it's gonna back up a little bit.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah? Okay, no problem. Got it. My final go, my final lap. And I try to push the car a little bit more, I try to push it as best as I could. And I will say, it handles really well. coming around from the back end, I personally think the car is beautiful. Overall, it is a beautiful car. It is aggressive yet modest compared to the M models like the M3 and the M4, which looks a little bit more aggressive due to the canyons and the front lips and the extra body flares. But the car is still aggressive and beautiful. The interior, if you get it in a lighter color, it will definitely be a lot more appealing to the eyes, like this one is, with the contrasting colors. It adds a lot more to be seen. And coming around to the more controversial, criticized front end of the new BMW M models, the front end I personally believe is beautiful. It does add to that aggressive look, and it updates from the previous BMW models that we've seen in the past. As a bonus feature to the event, they had a drag race set up where you were able to compare the differences between the 330i and the 330e. Right now I'm currently sitting in the 330e, which I believe looks pretty sleek. Here I am messing around with the new BMW infotainment system where it has finger gesture controls where you can turn up the volume using your hands. And in front of me you have the new X5e as well, where they drag race each other so you can kind of feel that instantaneous boost from the electric motors. I personally enjoyed this event as well. It was a wonderful time and a wonderful experience so that you could really get the feel of the electric power. Now here I am drag racing the 330i. I am in the 330e, like I said previously. The interior, again, if you get in a darker color, it gets a little lost. But if you get in a lighter contrasting color, that speed was instantaneous. That was kind of stupid. The braking was sharp.
I think you could have beat me if you just braked harder. You were there.
Yeah.
But you didn't. You weren't hard enough on the brakes.
I was being a little
You
pussy.
came in a little hotter than you and broke first, so it was close.
No, yeah, that's fair.
All right, so for these, you're going to go through the cones. Try not to hit them. Feel the handle a little bit. Hold on a second.
Go ahead and pull around, white car. Right at 2B. There you go.
At the end, wait in that box down there until one of us call you back over, okay?
No problem.
Go ahead, go, my man.
Thank you, brother. Get the feel of it. That's pretty cool. Bam, boom. If you're into cars, you know how Doug DeMuro, this guy looks just like Doug DeMuro. It's actually pretty hilarious. He was just way shorter. There, you're going that one. Alright. Now we hopped into the 330i, where I'll be challenging the same Doug DeMuro lookalike to the drag race, where he's in the 330e and I'm in the 330i. I did it in manual mode again. The car struggles for traction, of course, but with that, compared to the electric car, you're not beating that in a drag race. Thankfully, this time I did stop more appropriately in the box, and he overshot it, so that declared me the winner. Although we didn't win one each, so I guess it's a draw.
Electric's supposed to win because it's faster, but he blew the stop, man.
Yeah.
He called it.
No, that.
Go ahead, man. Thanks for coming out.
You too. Thank you. Well, thank you. As a bonus, BMW brought out the iX X-Drive 50, which releases in 2022. It features 516 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds, and it is still a full-size SUV. It's about the same size as your standard X5, and with the electric motors, you can get around 300 miles on a full charge And speaking of charge, you can get around 90 miles on 10 minutes of charge. So that could help you in case of emergency. Now the overall styling of the iX, I believe, is pretty beautiful. I like the new tail lights. Unfortunately, they did not have the car open, so I couldn't get any interior views of it. But the overall styling is pretty beautiful. You know, I'm sorry to say that word so much, but I do like the styling of it. The front end grille is a little different, but it stands out. Just a few little triangles, just, you know, facing each other. But it's something that's a little different, of course. Now the last thing I'll show you is the 2022 i4 X-Drive 40, which has 335 horsepower, fully electric, 300 mile range, and 108 miles on 10 minutes of charge. It launches you from 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds, which is pretty slow for an electric car, but BMW is releasing their new i4 M440, which will launch you 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds and has 536 horsepower, which is something to look forward to in the near future. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.